Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
And a happy Saturday, Vikings fans. Kind of a weird weekend because the Vikings don't play till Monday night. So I don't know. If you're like Judd, you're probably going to settle in tomorrow with Scott Hansen for 7 hours of straight red zone channel injected into your veins. The witching hour.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better. Red Zone, greatest television creation of all time. Let's not mince words here.
It's always kind of fun, like when the Vikings do play a primetime game and you get to dig into red zone. But
yes.
And by the way, before we get into the topic of today's show, which is Judd's top 20 Vikings, because we have an extra day to explore the space here. Maybe you're watching Red Zone on a brand new Roku TV. Yeah, they make TVs now. For a decade plus, it was the number one TV streaming platform. I had the old like HDMI external Roku going back like 2013. Well, they make smart TVs now with Roku built in as the operating system, and it's great for football viewing, whether it's Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Roku has everything at your fingertips for sports, for entertainment. The Mackeys have a brand new 65-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV in our living room. We love it. So go to Roku.com to learn more or shop at a retailer near you. So earlier this year in the offseason, I put together my top 20 Vikings list, and I can find that too. We can compare and contrast. The biggest topic was Andrew Van Ginkel. I controversially had Van Ginkel as like the 5th best Vikings player, and I don't know where you have him, but he's been awesome. He's clearly been one of their best defensive players. But now that we've seen the new guys, we've seen Sam Darnold, who I don't think was in the top 20 on my list a few months back.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see now. Judd's going to rank the top 20 current Vikings players.
Yeah, and let's start with one thing here. If you're out for the season, I don't rank you.
Oh, so Darisaw is out?
Which eliminates him. Yes, this is the 20 most important Vikings players right now. So if they're going to win a Super Bowl, unfortunately, because Darisaw he'd be top 5, but he's out. If you're injured, you're on IR, but you're going to return, I rank you because you have a chance to help this team. Okay. Unfortunately for Darisaw, he does not. That's the one mildly controversial thing, but I just thought it would be weird to put a guy in the top 5 who's not playing, and like he deserves to be. If he's going to be in the list, he deserves to be high, but he'll be back next year and he'll probably be top 5 again at some point.
Yeah, probably top 3. Somewhere in there. All right,
Let's
I'll give you
bottom.
the music here to make this official.
Let's start at the bottom of the list. Let's start at number 20. So top 5 most important Vikings right now. Shaq Griffin is number 20. Played in 13 games. He actually, with Stephon Gilmore back, made his first start last Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. Picked off 2 passes. He is a very serviceable veteran player. I wouldn't call him great. I would say that he probably has brought a stability, much like Gilmore did, that has been necessary. So he is number 20.
Yeah, a nice solid veteran addition.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of holds down the fort. Not a train wreck. Maybe not the player he was 5 years ago, but a good solid player. Yep.
Number 19, Patrick Jones. Pat Jones is number 19. His 7 sacks are 3rd on the team. Now, he did not play against the Falcons, and the Vikings won handedly. But just for context on Pat Jones, 7 sacks this season is 2 more than his total for his career before the season. So Pat Jones has made a very nice, solid contribution, situational pass rush type guy. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. He gets to the quarterback. So he actually has jumped into my top 20 because I guarantee back when you did yours, he wouldn't have been in that. He's number 19.
He's an interesting case because he does have a nice sack total, but he doesn't get pressures really at all. So he has 7 sacks. He only has 19 pressures all year. Grenard has 60. Now Grenard plays more snaps, but yeah, Patrick Jones 277 pass rush snaps, only 19 pressures.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting home when he's getting the pressures. But I just wonder, is this a complete byproduct of a system if you were to give Dallas Turner more of those snaps or Gabriel Murphy,
Yep.
what would the output look like? Which probably happens in 2025.
Yeah, I think Pat Jones, if I am correct about this, is in the last year of his contract, and my guess is because of the sacks he's going to get paid. Not huge, but he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back. But for now, you know what? What the hell? He's number 19 on my list. Number 18 is a tight end. It's Josh Oliver.
Yeah.
So he's had a really interesting year. He has 20 receptions in 11 games thus far. That's only 2 fewer than he had all of last season in his first year as a Viking in 17 games. His 3 touchdowns and 13 first down receptions are career highs. He was signed to block, and he is a good, proficient blocker. But his receiving capabilities, which he showed in college, have probably been slept on completely. And it feels like whenever he's been throwing the ball, he has made plays. So I am putting at 18, both because of his production offensively in the pass game, but also as a blocker, which is incredibly important. I'm putting Josh Oliver number 18.
Yeah, he is. I feel like he is a rock solid number 2 tight end, and all the things you just mentioned. Just kind of the run game hasn't been maybe what we thought with his addition, but it's not his fault really. Like he does his job a lot more often than he doesn't do his job.
Correct.
So love me some Josh Oliver.
Speaking of rock solid, that gets us to 17, and that is Stephon Gilmore. A guy that was signed off his couch in training camp. Barely got camp time, but that's fine. 34, only 1 pick, 7 pass breakups. He has been assigned to the top receiver at times on the opposing team. Stephon Gilmore has stepped in and absolutely positively played a very important role. I think also as far as the guidance in the secondary goes, he's just a guy. He's a get-it guy. He's become a mercenary, but that's absolutely fine. That's not a problem. A really good, solid pickup, a really good marriage, probably for a season. But Stephon Gilmore on the back end, I'm not saying he's great still. He's not. He was great at one time, but he remains very, very solid, and he has brought a stability. So number 17, Stephon Gilmore.
It feels like with Shaq Griffin and Stephon Gilmore, at worst, you just have a couple of solid veteran, league average, maybe even a little bit better on some Sundays, outside cornerbacks. And it doesn't solve a long-term issue at those positions, but for this year right now in this system, you can do a lot worse than those 2 veterans.
Absolutely. So number 16 is the first guy, and some people might be like, whoa, this is too low. But we'll explain. Number 16 is Aaron Jones.
Wow.
No, yeah, so 893 yards on the ground, which is a pretty good average per carry of 4.5 yards. 4 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns total, because he also has contributed in the pass game. So he's brought some nice things. Again, great veteran in the locker room, done a really good job there. Fumbles, though, have been a problem. The fumbles drop him. 5 fumbles, 3 lost. He didn't have one, fortunately, against the Falcons, but he had a couple, including one lost against the Cardinals that could have been very costly. So, number 16, veteran Aaron Jones, who I actually like a lot, but the football's the program. Last time I checked, PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
Football's the program.
Only 2 other running backs have fumbled more than Aaron Jones this season. Breece Hall with the Jets and Ramondre Stevenson with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the fumbles, he should be way higher than 16th on your list.
Yes.
But the fumbles have been huge, and the fumbles are the ones that we're there in plus territory, right? Like he's kind of killed them with at least 3 or 4 of those fumbles, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or
well,
I don't know. I guess he's only lost like 4 of them, but
he's lost 3. But
okay.
if you go back to his first one, if I'm not mistaken, was in week 3 against San Fran at the goal line. And the reality is that's a nice play by the defender. But one, he said, I was not, if I recall correctly, his verbiage, holding the ball correctly. But that game against the Niners, if he doesn't fumble, is a rout.
yeah.
And instead it became this close game, San Fran took the ball like the 2 after the fumble, went down and scored. So yeah, I mean he would be pushing. I don't know he'd be top 10, but he would be pushing top 10. But the fumbles, and I don't know if he's coming back now. Like, are they going to try to draft a running back? Lots of things there. But Aaron Jones, number 16.
Okay, I'll withhold full judgment until I get a lay of the land of the next 15 plays.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Number 15, Harrison Phillips. Really nice year. 2 sacks, 4 pass breakups, including, I think he had a tip, if I'm not mistaken, against Kirk. But anyway, he's just a solid player. He's not flashy. He's not a sexy guy. He's not the type of guy who's going to consistently like push the pocket and you're like, oh my God, he's Grady Jarrett, right? But what he is a consistent player. He's done a really nice job. I don't know if I'd be backed up by PFF on this. It feels to me like he's had more of a consistent impact this season than last. That's just an eye test statement.
Yeah, it's funny. PFF loved him his first year in 2022.
Yeah.
And has been kind of meh on him the last 2 years. But in fairness to him, I feel, and Thor has pointed this out, kind of feels like the last 2 years, he's being asked to play a lot more of that A-gap, nose tackle position, where he's probably more of like a B-gap, over the tackle defensive lineman. But it's just, he's being asked to do something because of the roster makeup. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, like he's a good player, and he's one of the smartest players on that defense, I feel like. A very heady player.
Oh yeah. No, so it's basically the guys who are essentially like the captains and make calls and things like that. Defensive line wise, he's it. So it's like Metellus, Blake Cashman, but he is incredibly smart. So he is number 15. Number 14 might be a surprise, but he's a guy we have not given enough credit to because it's one of the savviest things, starting with the front office and going down to his play. Number 14, Cam Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Robinson has stepped in for Christian Darrisaw and has largely been forgotten. And that's the best thing possible.
Yeah.
Your left tackle, who was on track for a Pro Bowl, if not an all-pro type of season, went down against the Rams, the second of back-to-back defeats, the only 2 defeats, of course, this season. And it was like, are they going to move Blake Brandel to left tackle and then bring in Reisner to play left guard and leave Ingram alone at right guard? What are they going to do? And Kwesi pretty much instantly turns around and sends a conditional 5th that, based on playing time, I think is going to be a 2026 4th, which is fine, to Jacksonville for a guy who had lost his job but had a lot of experience. He might not be Darrisaw, but you know what? He is far from being a disaster, and he has stepped into a new system, and I think he has played, for the most part, very, very well. I put him at 14.
Yeah,
but kudos.
He has, I think, in pass protection, he's definitely not Darrisaw overall, but he's been serviceable as a pass protector. I do think their running game has suffered with Darrisaw out, but it was a good trade. I know we had some debate about that among the fan base and with Thor, but this team thinks they can win a Super Bowl, and you needed someone other than like a journeyman Quessenberry to be playing the last 10 games of the season. So, yeah.
So that is a starts with Kwesi, but I mean, Cam has come in and done a really good job too. So he's number 14. Number 13, he's injured, but he's going to return, and I think it's going to help the run defense, which has gotten gashed the last 2 games. That is Ivan Pace.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the success of the Cardinals and subsequently the Falcons on the ground, and the Falcons do have, I mean, Bijan is a great player, but anyway, I don't think their success on the ground is some type of fluke. Ivan Pace and Blake Cashman both in their own roles, and we'll get to Blake. But Ivan Pace is an important player. He's an important part. Now, pass-wise, in the pass game, can be somewhat of a disaster.
Yeah.
But his downhill style, when he's going downhill, this guy can play a really important role. So Ivan Pace, number 13.
Yep, you nailed it. Like, he is one of the better downhill, moving forward, run-stopping, blitzing inside linebackers in the entire league. He's been he's been awesome. Coverage, disaster. When he's targeted, 19 of 23, so 83% completions when a ball is thrown at or toward him. And opposing quarterbacks have a 135.5 passer rating, and he's committed 2 penalties in the passing game. So he definitely has to clean some of that up. But he's very good at what he's good at, 100%.
Number 12. I toyed with where to put him because it's so funny because we keep expecting his career to end, and then he just keeps playing, and not just playing, but playing a ton. Number 12, Harrison Smith, who actually is having a really, again, at the tender age, he's going to be 36 in February. A really nice season. 1 sack, 3 tackles for losses, 7 pass breakups, 2 picks, plays almost every single snap. It is, and after O'Connell had basically said at the end of 2023, if Harrison comes back, we're going to, be careful with his snaps. And we all thought, okay, that's a good idea, right? Brian Flores is like, no, we're not. This dude needs to be on the field all the time. Number 12, it might be his last year. He might play 5 more. I don't know. Harrison Smith.
Yeah, you've said everything that needs to be said, and I'll just give you the snap counts. 831 snaps, 21 more than anybody else on defense. So, yeah. He plays all the time.
I think he got a blow against the Cardinals or something for like a series.
Yeah.
They're like, that's crazy. The plan. It's like, no, it's not. Okay, number 11, Cam Bynum.
Yeah.
9 pass breakups, 3 picks, second on the team, a pending free agent. I think he very well might get paid. Credit to Spielman. What? Cornerback in college, just mid-round draft pick, didn't really expect much. He has stepped in at safety, and it's also based on the same thing that Metellus' success is based on, Harrison Smith as well. Those guys are all so smart. They're just football savants. Like, make no mistake, the talent on the Flores defense is definitely there, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a dumb guy. Cam Bynum is very, very smart.
Yeah, it's a complicated defense. So that's the first half of the list here. 20, Shaq Griffin, 19, Pat Jones, 18, Josh Oliver, 17, Stephon Gilmore, 16, Aaron Jones, 15, Harrison Phillips, 14, Cam Robinson, 13, Ivan Pace, 12, Harrison Smith, 11, Cam Bynum. The top 10 current Vikings, according to Judd, coming up here. But, hey, let's tell the audience about Livia. This is a time of year where you can actually fight against the grain of what most people do this time of year.
100% correct. And guess what, folks? If I am doing a list, if I'm doing a top 20 list right now of top weight loss centers, 1 through 20 is the same place. Exactly right. It's my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. How would you like to enjoy the holidays and lose up to 10 pounds before the new year? That's right. I didn't misspeak. 10 pounds off. Join now and get 8 weeks of their nutrition program free, expert advice, one-on-one guidance. As I've said for a long time, no judgment, just guidance. They're going to help you lose that weight. Also, GLP-1 weight loss meds start at just $199 for the first month. I rejoined the program a while back because I'm like, you know what? Sports Dad needs a tune-up. We all do at times. Drop 15 pounds almost instantly. You know why? Because Livia works. Check them out, livea.com, or give them a call, 855-GO-LIVEA, and start losing today. Livia, get 10 pounds off before the new year. We're about to go to my top 10 most important Vikings right now. Well, you can lose 10 pounds. That's even better.
Yeah. Hey, Woodhouse Spas could be the perfect holiday gift here. If you're kind of racking your brain, man, what do I get that person in my life, my wife, mom, whatever it may be? Woodhouse Spas has over 70 spa services, all about self-care for both men and women. I've been a massage guy my whole life. I just 2 or 3 times a year. Our old guy Dex Tweets got his first 90-minute massage on his honeymoon. But whether it's for you or someone in your life, you're looking for that gift, Woodhouse Spas, locally owned, Maple Grove, Woodbury, Rosedale Center. Gift cards available in spa or online. WoodhouseSpas.com. That's WoodhouseSpas.com. And over on Prize Picks here, so they're offering a free square this week. Patrick Mahomes against Cleveland, 0.5 passing yards. So, we'll just take more on that real quick. And then what I'm going to do with one of mine here is I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes 0.5 more, Bryce Young, 206.5 passing yards. I'll take more on that against Mike Zimmer's defense. And then I think Aaron Jones gets some pay dirt here. I'm going to go more on 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. There's my ticket there on Prize Picks. You can win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas as well. So it's a great time to add a little more fun to your football viewing. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code PURPLEDAILY. Get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code PURPLEDAILY to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. Football. Okay.
All right.
To top 10. Here we go. Let's do it.
Number 10, TJ Hawkinson. Just 6 games because obviously coming off the torn up knee, ACL, but he remains a threat in the passing game. And while the statistics aren't great yet, I do think that his return has definitely caused defenses. Now they're splitting time between being concerned about Hawkinson, Jefferson, Addison. Oliver deserves credit for what he brought, but he can't bring what Hawkinson can as far as a game planning threat. If Hawkinson was healthy, he's probably more like number 6, but right now it's tough. So most important Vikings right now, TJ Hawkinson, number 10.
Still waiting for that first touchdown post-injury. That's going to be a hell of a spike. But the fact that he can give you, just even off the injury as he's getting back in, he can give you the 8 for 72, the 7 for 114, the big third down catch in tight coverage. So, and he's probably only going to get better, and then you're going to see even a better version next year, a year removed from it.
Absolutely. Right. Number 9, the Vikings, Mr. Everything, Josh Metellus. He leads the team in tackles. He has 2 picks. He is listed as a safety, but that is incredibly up for debate because he plays everywhere. I mean, heck, he lines up at defensive end at times. He lines up with pace out. He'll now play more in a linebacker role. Once in a while, he'll be a safety. More often than not, he's a rover. Turned himself into an incredibly valuable player. Really the first guy I think that Brian Flores looked at and said, I can do a lot here. And again, it comes down to his intelligence. Like this does not start off with his ability. It starts off with, are you smart enough to play multiple positions per game and basically stay locked in? And the answer is yes. Josh Metellus, number 9.
He has played 367 snaps in the box where Blake Cashman plays. Mm-hmm. He's played the most snaps of any Vikings player in the slot, even more than Byron Murphy Jr. He's played 75 snaps at free safety, where Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith are playing. He's played 46 snaps along the defensive line, 46 as an outside edge rusher. So, yeah, he plays everywhere. Jack of all trades value, 100%.
Knows every position. So he's number 9. Number 8, speaking of, we'll stay on the theme of defensive backs. Number 8, Byron Murphy Jr. Great season. And a great time because he's in a contract year. Mm-hmm. 3rd in the league in picks with 6. A guy who, in my mind, has 100% made huge strides. A year ago, I thought he was okay. And look, he was fine. The contract was fine. But he was not a guy, and we talked about this coming into the season, not a guy that we talked about and said, they got to get him back, got to bring him back for sure. And according to reports now, they did try to sign him to an extension before the season. He basically said, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself. That bet paying off in a big way. Number 8. Number 8, a guy I think that they might bring back, and if they do, he's probably going to make per year, if I'm not mistaken, Phil, his contract was like 2 years, $17 million. Mm-hmm. He's going to make that a season.
Possibly. Yeah, I would 100% bring him back. They've got the cap space. They need cornerbacks. He's young. He's only like 26. I bring him back 100%.
Number 7, touchdown machine. All he does is catch touchdowns or something like that. Jordan Addison. 7 touchdowns again in 2 fewer games than Jefferson, who has the same amount. So Jordan's played 11 games. He has had times this year where he's basically disappeared, and I don't think it's his fault.
No.
And ever since 3 has to be freed, now he might say that's a slogan, goes back to his Pittsburgh days. I don't know. All I know is he's been freed. He is a special talent. So number 7, Jordan Addison.
Yep. I saw something that he's like top 5 all time in touchdown receptions before the age of 23 or something, or by the age of 23. He just, and as a deep threat, he's everything as advertised coming out of USC and Pitt, right? He spent most of his career at Pitt before going to USC. So, yeah.
Number 6 as we get closer to the top 5. Right tackle Brian O'Neill. He got beat for a sack pretty badly on Sunday against the Falcons, and I think we were all like, oh my God, Brian O'Neill got beat? That doesn't happen. Well, that's a compliment because it doesn't for the most part. But the stability that guy brings, and look, the Vikings, we can quibble about the interior of the line, but the reality is the Vikings tackles are really damn good. Darisaw's outstanding. I would label Cam Robinson as very solid, and Brian O'Neill, who, again, a Spielman pick, 2nd-round pick, I think, and we're all like, what the hell is this? Eventually, pretty quickly did mix in at right tackle, has become just a bona fide, solid player. Brian O'Neill at 6.
And, like, Achilles injury a couple years ago. He's a 320-pound guy coming off a really significant injury. Not a full tear, but, like, it was a thing. And according to PFF this year, he is the 4th highest graded right tackle in all of football. Penei Sewell's number 1, and then Lane Johnson with Philadelphia, and Zach Tom with the Packers also in that mix. But he's only allowed 13 pressures all year. So think about that. He's allowing 1 pressure a game at right tackle. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and when you get beat for a sack, and we're all like, what happened there? Why? That's terrible. How could that happen? That's actually a compliment.
It's huge, yes. All right, into the top 5 here. Wow.
Number 5. Actually at the same place that you had him in the preseason, Andrew Van Ginkel.
Validation.
2 touchdowns, 9 sacks. His partner in crime coming up as well. But, yeah, AVG...
You all laughed.
2 touchdowns?
You all laughed.
It should be at least 3. He had 2 chances. And again, he didn't catch that one Kirk ball, which he would have been. The only thing is he might not have scored it because it would have been a long run, and he might have run out of gas. But yeah, he's been incredibly solid. A bargain at his contract too. So he's number 5.
My thought, when I put him number 5 back in June or July, or before we ever saw him step foot on a Vikings field, my logic was he is a jack of all. He's an edge rusher, but he can also play traditional, like, inside linebacker. He can kind of do everything. He can drop back into coverage. And Brian Flores is going to, and he worked, and Flores used him, I think he was with Flores for at least like a year in Miami.
Yeah, he was.
He was just a perfect Flores guy, can do everything. And it has come to fruition perfectly with this system. So my completion percentage on Write That Down is pretty low, but every once in a while, I'm right about something on the show.
Oh, absolutely. You saw AVG clearly, but the next 2 guys, if you had seen them as well, you would be a genius, a football genius, because the next 3 guys are all from 2024 free agent class that just continues to give. It's like a Christmas gift. It's like the tree. Under the tree, you had a Van Ginkel. Oh, this is exciting. I got a Van Ginkel. Open up present 4. Number 4 on the list. It's a Cashman. Blake Cashman. 4th on the team in tackles in 10 games. He has missed 3 games. A team that has won 11 games and lost 2 without Blake Cashman went 1-2. This was the gift of seeing, like, he wouldn't be 4, except he missed 3 games and they lost 2. and his absence caused us to question the defensive philosophy. He's that important. It's hard not to put him there.
Yeah, I mean, I stated my case on the Monday Hottest Vikings takes and said they are 10-0 when he plays.
Yeah.
Leading the league in scoring average defensively. I think they're second in the league in yards per play allowed. When he plays, he's really good, but he's so perfect in his position that he allows everyone else to do what they're good at too.
Yes.
So, yes, he has been a revelation. A guy that, okay, yeah, he's going to come in here and maybe be a solid player. They're letting Jordan Hicks go, and he has been a revelation in this system. It's a perfect system for him, for Josh Metellus, for Andrew Van Ginkel. Yes.
Number 3, let's again go below the tree. We open up a present. What's this one? It's a Grenard.
Wow.
Jonathan Grenard, 10 sacks. Which is 5th in the league. You talked about the pressure rate before. The chasing down, 18 seconds, 12 seconds of Caleb Williams in Chicago. The just go, go, go. He's sick against the Cardinals. He not only plays, he balls out and makes a couple of enormous plays late in that game. Jonathan Grenard, Blake Cashman, and Van Ginkel. I mean, you could not find 3 better free agent presence than those 3. I have Grenard at number 3.
And even though he did not tally a pressure in that game, the Falcons just kind of locked him down, first team all year.
Yep.
He's still 3rd among all players in pressures. Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals has 65. Rookie Jared Verse has 64 for the Rams. He also played an extra game last night, so he's a game ahead. And then Grenard at 60. Those are the only 3 guys with 60 or more pressures defensively this year. Wow.
Jonathan Grenard, number 3. Let's go below the tree again. Free agent present number 2 on the list. Oh, it's only a Darnold. This can't be very good. Something must be broken. Batteries included? What? It works perfectly? It's fixed? Oh my God, what a great toy.
The Jets got a faulty version of there was like a manufacturing error or something on the version they got.
No, this is incredible. This Darnold works perfectly. It's throwing deep balls like you wouldn't believe. They're being caught by Addison and Jefferson. Sam Darnold, number 2.
Yeah, it's like those reality shows. I want to be careful the way I say this, but Pawn Stars, right? Where you go and you find little
Yes.
hidden treasures. You're like going
Yes.
garage sailing and
Estate sale, right?
Yeah, yes. Something popped up on my feed yesterday. Like someone found like a Michael Jordan mid-'80s like Gem Mint 10 PSA graded card.
It popped up
that was on
online,
sale
too.
for $10 at someone's garage sale.
Yep.
Like that KOC's going through the bin. He's like, wait a second. And Kwesi, wait, that's a 26-year-old former number 3 overall pick with a huge arm, athletic ability, stoic Eli Manning-like demeanor.
What's the price tag?
$10 million? What? We can just bring him in and fix him up, put some new tires on him, and that's what they did.
Sam Darnold, number 2. I don't know if anyone would have believed that. Back in July, you would have called me crazy. And then number 1 is the guy who is the best receiver in all of football, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Contributes in every way possible. Stats are great. The stats are really good, but guess what? The stats might be secondary to the attention that he takes away, takes away from the Hawkinsons, Addisons, Justin Jefferson, a guy who never really, or I shouldn't say that, he never complains. He never complains. He could at times. He just finds a way to get it done. Justin Jefferson, number 1.
Love it. So here it is. Here's the top 20 Vikings according to Judd. Number 1, Jefferson. Number 2, Sam Darnold. Number 3, Jonathan Grenard. 4, Blake Cashman. 5, Andrew Van Ginkel. 6, Brian O'Neill. 7, Jordan Addison. 8, Byron Murphy Jr. 9, Josh Metellus. 10, TJ Hawkinson. 11, Cam Bynum. 12, Harrison Smith. 13, Ivan Pace. 14, Cam Robinson. 15, Harrison Phillips. 16, Aaron Jones. 17, Stephon Gilmore. 18, Josh Oliver. 19, Pat Jones. 20, Shaq Griffin. Let us know in the YouTube comment section. Do you agree, disagree? How would Darisaw impact the rankings? And enjoy your Saturday. Tomorrow, Purple picks. We'll make our official picks, and then we're going to be live at 9 a.m. on Monday, just having a good time. And then Vikings Vent Line after Bears and Vikings. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.